Effective classrooms need literacy programs that help students actively participate in their own learning. Students need to practice their comprehension strategies through conversation and discussion. The earlier that students can begin this practice, the quicker these important aspects of literacy will become embedded in their learning. This is why we developed Interconnectors for students at Years 3 and 4. Interconnectors is a series of books, both fiction and non-fiction, for independent group reading. It is based on the reciprocal reading approach. By working together, students encourage and motivate each other to unpack the text. They think about questions during and after the reading and help each other to clarify vocabulary. The great thing is that students do this without the teacher. Peer learning is one of the most effective and natural forms of learning, and Interconnectors is a unique resource for this very purpose. When students are working with Interconnectors, the teacher is free to take a guided reading group. The teacher knows that the students working with Interconnectors are involved in a meaningful and motivating learning experience.
Well, hi kids, here's your new story we're going to have today. This is one you haven't seen before, I know. There we go. So tell me, Braden, what is the title of this book?
Go all our goals to camp.
Okay, let's turn it over and find the what to do page. This is just a little bit like a game, these books, aren't they? A little bit like a game. We have to choose who's going to be the leader. We have to choose a colour. But I want you to have a look and tell me, put your finger on the invisible teacher board. When you see the invisible teacher board, what do, Ollie?
You read it.
Right, you read it, good boy. Okay, put your finger on the stop sign. When you see the stop sign, what do? Taylor, what do you do when you see the stop sign?
You say if your predictions were right or wrong.
Right, what does predictions mean?
What you said at the beginning.
Good girl. And so can you, when you're a leader and you have to predict, find where it says predict on the page here. Can you put your finger on the word that it says predict? Can you read out, if you're the leader and you have to predict, Araha, can you read out what you say?
I am looking at this page and I think it is going to be about.
Good girl. What helps you think about what it's going to be about? What helps you think about that? Taylor, can you help Araha when you're looking at predicting? What helps you think about what it could be about on the page?
The picture.
Yeah, pictures, yeah. Illustrations, yeah, we call them illustrations, don't we? Yeah, good girl. Okay, put your finger on the word clarify. All of you put your finger on the word clarify. When you clarify something, what does it mean when you clarify, when it asks you to clarify something? What does that mean?
Talk about words and their meaning.
Oh, good girl. Words that you probably what?
Like something that you don't know, talk about a word that you don't know how to say or the meaning of it.
Good girl, yeah. Any words you don't know how to say or the meaning of it, that's what it does. And maybe there's a little board there. You can see that little invisible teacher board there. Can you see the little invisible teacher? Put your finger on the little visible teacher. What does it say on that board? Tell me, everybody.
Let's check.
And what does it mean when it says let's check? Tell me, Ollie, what does it mean?
When you go to page 24 and you read what you need to check.
Good boy, very good. Now there's another one up there, number 3, and it says ask questions. Can you put your finger on ask questions? What does that mean, Braden? Do you know what that means?
You ask questions about what you don't know.
Good boy. Put your finger on the last thing you have to do and it says summarise. Can you find that? Summarise? That's a really big word, isn't it? Summarise. Underneath there it tells you what summarise means. You can read it with me. It says, think about who and what the story was mainly about. And there we have a little thumb like fingers. And we have on this part of our thumb, what do we see? What word do we see this? What word do we see here? Who? Right. What word do we see on the fingers?
Where, what, why.
Okay, and that helps us summarise, that helps us think about what the story was mainly about. Really good. I'm going to be the leader first today, so I'm going to have the first choice of colours and I am going to be that yellow colour. What colour are you going to be?
Red, purple, blue, green, orange.
Braden, you can be yellow after I've finished because I'm only going to do one page and then you can be yellow, okay? Right. Over the page. Right, I am looking at the illustrations and I think this page might be about a boy and his dad. Because I can see this boy here looks like very much like his father.
The Interconnectors fiction is mainly on issues that are very real to students, like bullying, sharing, telling lies, cheating and friendships.
So I'm going to go away and I'm going to leave you just on your own, and I'm going to be watching you though. I'm going to just be seeing what you're doing from over there in the corner. And I bet you're going to do a great job all by yourself. Off you go, blue leader.
The topics in the non-fiction text have been especially selected to be of high interest to students. Many non-fiction texts tell stories and are written in a documentary style to engage the readers.
I am looking at the photograph and I think this page might be about someone crossing a river on a flying fox. That's the way how they have to cross the river. Please read. Were there any words you didn't know how to say? Built. Were there any words you didn't know the meaning of? Cable. It's check cable. A thick, strong rope made of steel. Who has a question to ask about what we have read?
In the school on the left side, how would they get across to the other side?
With the cable.
Because that's going down and the cables, and if you want to, and how would they get out the cable? Because it goes down.
Maybe there's a landing for them and they can touch it, so they touch it with their feet and then stop quickly. How do you think the cables were put over the river?
Maybe they were like across a plane and they had the cables hooked to there, and when they got to the end they hooked it to the other one.
I think they were put over the river by they hooked it onto a little platform at one end, then then there was another person at the end and they threw it across the river to the other person at the other end. What country does Daisy live in? Please turn to the location hub on 23.
Daisy lives here and we live here.
What we have just read was mainly about
How to get across the river.
a fact was
They didn't have enough money to build a bridge.
my predictions were right because I said they put a flying fox down to the other side of the river.
All books have a something to think about page or retell the story page.
Walking to school is because you get lots of exercise. Going in a train is good because you get to look outside where you're going and you get to chat with your friends.
Going in a train is not good because it's all noisy every time.
Interconnectors is a bridge to the Connectors series. The Connectors series is also based on the reciprocal reading approach, but it is for years 5, 6 and beyond. Interconnectors is the independent series that links with the fluency stage of Keylink's guided reading. There are 4 levels of Interconnectors: orange, turquoise, purple and gold. If students are working at Keylink's orange, then their Interconnectors level will be orange as well. It is so powerful to see students working with their peers, oblivious to the teacher or whatever else is going on in the room around them. Students' peers are among the most significant people in their lives, and Interconnectors is a resource where they can work together in a non-threatening environment.
I love using the interconnectors with our reading group in the classroom. I liked it because we each got turns to be the teacher, and we each got equal amount of turns. My favourite fiction book was The Big Mistake, because I liked how Rob drew on the door and she blamed Annie for it.
The kids have found Interconnectors great. I would encourage other teachers to use them. I think that they are a valuable part of the reading program in the classroom, and I think it gives the children a chance to lead themselves and become more confident readers. It's really improved their leadership skills. Even the shyer, quieter ones are now confident enough to take and run the reading group. It's also really good for their oral language, and we find that they're thinking a lot more critically about what they're reading.
Interconnectors will increase students' oral language development, develop their comprehension strategies, increase their vocabulary, develop their confidence, encourage sharing, cooperation, and respect for the opinions of others. This approach provides the fuel on a student's journey from decoding to comprehension. There is no doubt that Interconnectors will help students attain the signposts, the standards, and the benchmarks that are along the way.